Okay, welcome to the Fall Damage Gaming Podcast, the first one ever. I am DCCB brand, also known as Cooper. Who else do we have?
And this is Taylor, also known as Tay Tay Bebe.
And we together conjoin our Deathdrop Radio, a wrestling podcast. This will also be on our wrestling podcast channel. Hopefully, if this all works out great, on our wrestling podcast channel on all different podcast platforms. And it will be on the Deathdrop YouTube channel and my, which you can see all of my gameplays on. And my streams are linked there. I upload things that we'll be talking about later. Also on the Deathdrop channel, you can watch us play certain games like A Way Out, the co-op multiplayer game, and it was pretty fun. So yeah, this is the first Fall Damage Gaming Podcast. We wanted to talk about, while you get to know us a little bit on the gaming end of things, our favorite. I'm going to let Taylor go first and talk about the games he likes to play or has played, and what kind of games he likes to play, what mechanics he likes, stuff like that. And then I'll do it, and then we'll get into gaming news, what kind of things have been happening in the world of gaming, and our opinions on them. So, Taylor, go first.
Okay, so usually I like to play either sports games, first-person shooters, third-person shooters, and that's pretty much it. Uh, Usually I'll play a lot of baseball and basketball games like NBA and MLB The Show. I'll play some Call of Duty here and there. I really like story, like video games. Like
Except he
you
does not
play,
play
like,
you do not play the campaigns of the sports games.
yeah. I mean, I play MLB The Shows.
You always tell me I haven't played the story, so I don't know.
No, for every other sporting game, yeah. But
No, okay. Is that all you got?
for only the show I did.
So
But
sports
anyway,
games, what we're doing.
it's sports games, and then games like A Way Out, which actually have like stories. Like you can like play through them, and like you can get alternate endings, and I love that. And then I can pretty much get into any game.
I thought A Way Out was kind of a branch for you to like. It was kind of like your first into like kind of really hardcore like sports games, not really hard story driven alternate endings type things. I feel like A Way Out was kind of your first one that was like really hardcore alternate ending, really story driven, less gameplay type.
So you would exclude Red Dead from that list, wouldn't you?
No, but you didn't play it. You didn't play it for very long. You said you didn't like it. There's
Yeah,
one that
not
you
as much.
liked. You liked that one. I mean, there's just a lot of mechanics and stuff you have to get done in Red Dead, so that's probably why you didn't like it. So we're moving on to me now. That's what we're
Yeah.
doing. All right. I hope this recording software for the YouTube lets me run for a while. All right. So moving on from that, I like all story games. There has to be a story, or I will not play it. That's how I am. But I played Call of Duty back in the days. That's what I used to play all the time. First person shooters on Xbox
Yep. Yep.
360 days with all your friends. If I didn't have my friends playing, I probably wouldn't have been playing those games because now I don't have my friends playing most of the time, so I do not play those games. I don't play multiplayer games that much anymore. I like the single player. I like being. I don't like depending on people to back me in games. But if it's like,
So you didn't like A Way Out?
yeah, it was all right. Wasn't the best story game I've ever played, but
Yeah,
it was
because
fun.
you looked up how it
Cheap.
ended.
I got it on sale, so it was cheap. It was good for the price that I paid. But the new game that's coming out, made by the same guy, is totally different. But I've played Red Dead. I play fighter games. I like fighter games because they have stories. but then it's just like a continuation of the story. You can make your own stories kind of in fighting games. Always thought
Like
of it that
Mortal
way.
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat Injustice, which at this moment, I didn't tell Taylor this, but at this moment you can get Injustice Gods Among Us, the very first one, for free on PlayStation. But
Well, I have the original on Xbox.
you can get it on PlayStation now too. I think it's the Ultimate Edition too. But I like fighter games. I like some of the newer Call of Duty. Not any of them that have the exosuits because those are stupid. I like the Telltale games. I liked those a lot. I played every Batman one, both seasons. I played The Wolf Among Us. I played the Borderlands one. So I really like those games. Really heavy story driven, less gameplay in those. I like open world games, and I like feeling a game that's different. I like all the superhero games like Spider-Man, stuff like that, which we'll be talking about some of those down the line. All right, so that's what we like. First episode, you got to know us a little bit. Now we're going to move in to the latest news story as of this recording. Microsoft shutting down their streaming service Mixer because they couldn't compete with Amazon's streaming video game service Twitch. So, Taylor, what do you think? We're going to start off with this. Why do you think that Microsoft could not compete with Twitch?
Well, I mean, I've always thought it was like inferior to Twitch. I've always thought Twitch was better. And I feel like for you, I know we're trying to distance ourselves from wrestling, but think of Twitch as AEW and think of Mixer as like TNA, basically.
Now,
you get what I'm saying?
People watching this that do not know wrestling or watch wrestling at all, Taylor doesn't think very well. So, AEW is the secondary mainstream product rivaling WWE, kind of rivaling.
Well, I was going to say WWE, but I was going to say, can you be quiet for a second? I was going to say WWE, but I was afraid that if I said WWE, you'd be like, oh, AEW is better, so you should compare them to AEW.
Well, that is true. AEW is better. And you can hear all about it on our other episodes of Deathdrop Radio that are on all platforms, not on our YouTube. It's the first time we're ever putting them on YouTube. These kind of podcasts, we're going to try it out, see how it works. But they're on Spotify, Anchor, all the other podcast things, right, Taylor?
Yep.
Most
over 30 plus.
Yeah, so AEW is the second biggest wrestling company in the world, or at least in the United States. And TNA was a very big, prominent wrestling company for a little while, a few years, but then it went downhill. Kind of like how Mixer was a big hot thing when they signed Ninja. And now they decided to get rid of it just because they couldn't compete. And I have been on Mixer. I do not like the layout. I don't like that Xbox wouldn't let you go. They used to. I have an Xbox One. When I was playing Xbox One before I got my PlayStation 4, it let you stream to Twitch. I'm almost positive it did. And then they got Mixer, and I used to stream to Twitch, and I was like, what the heck? And I didn't like it at all, just the way that Mixer was formatted and stuff. So I just completely stopped streaming altogether. So I really do like Twitch better. I think it has more features. It was better. I mean, it could have grown, but now the thing is, Microsoft, Xbox.
Well, it's basically Xbox is streaming service, so you wouldn't be wrong if you said Xbox.
Yeah. Well, Microsoft wants everyone to move to Facebook gaming, so I'm wondering if they're going to make it to where only your Xbox now can only stream to Facebook. I don't think Facebook gaming is very big.
No, and it won't get bigger. People are trying to get off of Facebook.
Yeah, I know. I feel like Facebook has now become almost the MySpace of social media.
Yeah.
Anything else to say on this topic? I don't know where Ninja's going to go. If you're a Ninja fan, I saw a tweet he put out today.
What'd he say?
He's going to think about what he's going to do next. He said he loves all his fans. I don't know if Twitch is going to take him back, or at least pay him because he left Twitch for the amount of money. I don't know if there was heat there. I don't remember. Bad feelings there, but I know Mixer offered him more money, so he went there. I don't think Twitch is going to offer him as much as they were giving him to come back.
Yeah.
So he has another option. All right. Unless he goes to Facebook.
He's not going to Facebook.
He might. They might pay him to go to Facebook. Ronda Rousey's on Facebook. They're paying her.
It's not going to blow up, though.
I don't know. I watched her on Facebook. I don't like the Facebook interface for Facebook gaming live streams. It's just basic as hell. But moving on. Here's how we kind of have it laid out, folks. We're going to be talking about some of the latest releases in PlayStation 4, what's coming out next. Then we're going to move into PlayStation 5 type stuff. So moving on, the latest release, PlayStation 4 exclusive, The Last of Us 2. What are your thoughts on The Last of Us 2, Taylor?
Worst game storyline ever. I think that's all I have to say about that.
I don't know if
Cooper's gonna have a lot more to say about that.
Taylor's not up to the. He doesn't watch as many videos on games than I do.
Anyway, I've never seen a game more universally hated based off their trailer, their leak trailer, might I add, than The Last of Us 2.
The leak trailer, I don't think there's one of those. You mean just the leaks?
Yeah, the leaks, my bad.
Well, everybody knows by now that the leaks did come out of The Last of Us 2 maybe 4 months ago. Could have been 5. But many fans were outraged. Many fans would not believe it. And some of them, after being spoiled, did not believe it and still decided to buy the game.
Yeah.
And I think they were utter idiots. Because I saw the leaks. They were horrible. And there was such a significant amount of them. People are saying they'll just cut them out of the game. It was 4 months out of the game till the game comes out. And you really think that they're going to cut that big of points in the plot out of the game? People really thought that. And some people did avoid the leaks and they bought the game thinking that it was going to be a great game like the first one. And got it and just now figured out what the leaks were. Almost everything that was in the leaks matched. So there's a lot of people right now gracious that they saw the leaks. They didn't spend $60 or even whatever, how much the other editions are to get the game and be utterly disappointed. I have seen a guy, spoiler alert, Joel, spoiler alert, spoilers ahead for The Last of Us Part 2. Joel, the main character of the first game, dies in almost a little bit over the first hour of the game by golf club by a relatively new character, and it was a woman. I saw a guy see that scene. He was in Korea, got so pissed off. He's sitting there. He opens the case of The Last of Us 2. You can find this video on YouTube. He looks at it for a while. He just looks at the open case. Live on stream, he takes it out, and he's thinking about bending it. You can see his hands are on both sides, and he kind of starts. And I was like, oh, he's totally going to break it. And he could have just broke it with his hands, but out of dignity. I mean, no dignity at all. He didn't want to break it with his hands because that was such too big of an honor. He got scissors that were sitting next to him and cut the disc in half. He cut the disc in half. But very funny video. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't express that he's mad. He just looks at the television, looks down, gets it out, and cuts it in half with scissors. I've seen a lot of videos like that. I've seen fans utterly disappointed about how the game went, even though they're saying the game is a technical masterpiece, and some people think that the game should win Game of the Year, which is stupid, horrible. If it does, I believe people will be really mad. But apparently, I have seen a report, don't know if this is everywhere, that there are so many people returning The Last of Us Part 2 that different gaming stores, select ones, wherever these places are not allowing trade-ins of The Last of Us Part 2 anymore. So what do you think about that?
That's pretty sad.
And you can't get refunds on the PlayStation Store, people. You buy it,
Yep.
there ain't no refund. And I'm sure
Yep.
they're not giving you refunds at the gaming stores either. So you should have just. Everybody was freaking about the leaks. If you like the
Rightfully
game,
so.
you like the game. If it came out and you still like it, good. But I do believe that the mainstream reviewers for this game have been paid off.
Yeah.
Big bags of money. But you like the game, fine. If you hated the game, you bought it, and you avoided the leaks, you should have listened to your friends and your peers when they were saying that the leaks, you need to see the leaks, you have to see the leaks, because they were all right. Now, there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around that game too, but I don't really want to talk about them. I don't want to get into that. If you want to see some of them, go to the Quarterings YouTube channel. He talks about it all the time. All right, next we're going to be talking about my game. The game that I have pre-ordered, the Deluxe. The game that I'm very, very, very excited for. Ghost of Tsushima. Now, I'm going to let Taylor tell you what he thinks about Ghost of Tsushima, but just know he has not seen anything about Ghost of Tsushima. He's not as tuned in as I. But next podcast, I'm sure he'll be better at this. But I'm going to ask him what he thinks it is. I'm going to ask him what he thinks it is, and he'll explain it to you just for comedy purposes. So, Taylor, what do you think that the game Ghost of Tsushima is about?
A dead guy goes around terrorizing people.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see what you'd say if I said that.
Try again.
The city of Tsushima in Japan.
Uh-huh.
Got a guy who's exacting revenge.
All right, yeah.
Did someone get it right?
Yeah, it's about, if you don't know, which probably everyone watching this knows, Ghost of Tsushima is a game about, I think it might be one of the first. I don't know if Sekiro was an open world, but it is a samurai open world game about in the Mongol invasion in Japan. A Japanese man's village and town and home and get raided by the Mongols in an attack, and everyone dies. So he has to exact revenge on the Mongols and eventually abandon the ways of the codes and everything of the samurai and turn into a ghost, which is a stealthy warrior, kind of ninja, because it's him versus a whole bunch of people. And you can mix the strategies, a lot of sword play, cool characters. It has a lot of cool features and stuff like that. But this, I'm going to tell you a little story about it right now. Okay. The first time I saw this, E3 2017, I was watching the PlayStation conference. I don't even think I had a PlayStation back then. Maybe I did. I saw this preview for the game, the first one ever. And I said, I'm going to buy that game when it comes out. Then I saw another trailer for it, and I kind of changed my mind. I was like, I don't know. Is that the same one that I saw earlier? But I have confirmed that the first time I saw it, it is the same game. Then, recently, I had it in my mind after the state of play and some of the cinematic trailers that I am going to buy this game. So, I got enough money to get the game, right?
Yeah.
And something else happened. Taylor knows what it is. Something else happened. There was something that popped up that I wanted to buy. legitimately went through the internet, watched every single trailer about this to make sure that I wanted to spend my money on this game. I watched interviews from E3 about the game. I watched people talking about the game, what kind of gameplay features have been confirmed, um, how good people think the game's going to be, gameplay, everything. I've watched the state of play about 5 times. The game has been sold. They've sold me the game and made me want to buy it 3 separate times in the past like 3 years. And there's no game that's ever done that. I did buy Spider-Man pre-order. I think Spider-Man was the first pre-order I ever bought. This will be the second. Spider-Man did not sell me 3 times. I knew I was getting Spider-Man after the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this first game to sell me 3 times. I have very high hopes. People think it's going to be the Messiah, the Savior, after the crap load that The Last of Us put on fans. And they think it's going to be the perfect transition PlayStation exclusive to usher in the PlayStation 5. Moving on, this was Taylor's. Taylor's going to know a little bit about this. The Avengers game.
I thought you were going to bring up the NBA game, and I was going to be like, okay.
No, we're not there. That's PS5. Avengers game.
Okay.
What does Taylor think about the Avengers game? I believe it's scheduled to come out in September. Could get delayed, but there has been recent doubts about it. So let's see what Taylor thinks.
Well, I mean, graphically, it looks amazing. Storyline wise, from what I've heard, you play as Iron Man the most, right? Isn't that what you said?
No. See, this is what. If you do not know, there have been reports. I don't know if this girl is in the comic. I have never heard of her, unless somebody pronounced her name wrong. It might be one of the girls from Black Panther, but they put a younger black woman into the Avengers original cast, and apparently, in some of the reports say that you will be playing as her for most of the game.
That's a lot of people don't like when you go off canon, and that's what it sounds like they're doing here.
People are afraid they're putting too much SJW into the game after The Last of Us. People are scared.
Yeah.
So, also, if that's not true, I'm excited for it. People are mad that the Avengers do not look similar to the movie characters.
Yeah, they don't. Captain America doesn't look at all like Chris Evans.
I think the Hulk looks pretty close. He looks all right. I think he's the best looking one.
Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man looks like Robert Downey Jr. a little bit.
Well, the only gripe I have is Captain America's suit looks like blocks.
Yeah.
It looks like he's wearing big blocks.
One question I have, though, is are they going to come out with different suits?
Yeah. They already released some of them. I haven't watched much gameplay on it. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about, let's say you want to, dress Captain America up like the 2014 Winter Soldier Captain America.
I don't know. I don't know what suits they're going to put out, but I know there's going to be different suits. Yeah.
I know they'll have a lot of Iron Man suits because he had different versions of himself.
They haven't released what suit. I think they released 2 for. I don't know. But I know there's not very much gameplay on it right now. But I do somewhat remember someone telling me or me seeing that you can play with your friends and it's open world. The campaign can be played with 2 people, and you can play as 2 different.
So does it be like The Last of Us?
What do you mean, The Last of Us?
Like it requires 2 people to play?
You mean A Way Out? No, you can play by yourself. You can play with your friends. I bet there's a multiplayer in there too. But they've been working on the game for at least forever. I remember seeing it 5 years ago. They announced it. Maybe it was even longer ago than that.
Yeah.
So I don't think the game's gonna be bad either way. I just think people will get mad if you do put that woman, that girl, center stage. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that game is not a PS4 exclusive. It'll be on Xbox. People thought that Spider-Man might be put in it for PlayStation 4, but that doesn't look like to be happening unless it hasn't been announced yet. People also think it might get delayed because Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed, I think a second or third time until November, which is around
Yeah.
the time that the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X comes out. So if you didn't know, Taylor, that they did it like 5 months ago too, or that was longer than that. Like it was supposed to come out last year, and then they moved it this year in September, and everybody was excited that Avengers in it would come out kind of side by side, and then they moved it again to November. So what do you think about that?
I mean, you'll still get 2 high-quality games back to back, if what you're saying is correct.
No, they moved it. Avengers comes out in September. Last year, it was supposed to come out last year. They moved it to this year in September. Then they moved it again to this year in November, just now.
Yeah.
So you're not getting 2 games. We were going to, but now we're not, unless there's another game in November. I don't think there is. But they said that they want to make the game as good as possible. And they said that the game and the story is done, but the main quest, but there's side missions and things that they have to finish. So they moved the game. It might have been the third time. So this game better be pretty good. That's what everybody's been saying. This game better be pretty good for the amount that they have done it. If you don't remember too, this is the game where you can absolutely completely customize your character down to the size of genitals, and then you can make it asexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
If you didn't know that, you learned it here. So there we go.
You told me
All
this.
right. What?
You told me this.
I was just seeing if you remember. You forget sometimes. All right.
Anyway.
So now we're going to move into the PS5 reveal. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talk about this on the internet, but the PS5 reveal event, video, whatever. I'm going to let Taylor talk about the games that he was watching out for. Let's just say them, and what you think the PS5, if you're going to buy it or not, and we'll talk about it in depth here in a second later.
So, of course, I'm going to be excited about NBA. The graphics look unreal. Like, I was watching the trailer and I thought that they were just showing Zion Williamson's real life face. I was like, okay. And hold on. Hold your horses, Jesse. I think the mechanics needed to be improved, and it looks like they've somewhat improved upon them. Like, from them, like, looking less generic. And then, obviously, the faces look phenomenal. I think it's going to feel like you're at an actual NBA game, like, using real players, like, in real time. Like, it's going to look so good. Like, really.
Hang on one second. That was not. Yeah. If you didn't know, that was not in-game footage. That was a cinematic game. That was it was cinematic gameplay footage.
Well, still,
so it's going to look better than the actual game. It's like a cutscene footage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But still, I mean, it looked phenomenal.
He got a lot more from that than I did, and it was about a minute long of just a dude, one guy dribbling a ball and doing
Zion Williamson.
Yeah, okay, whatever. All right, what else were you impressed by? And then once you say what you're impressed by, what games you'd think you'd give a grade on the PlayStation, like the whole event and how they, presented it.
Trying to think. Well, this is going to sound strange, but even though I haven't announced it yet, it's widely speculated that WWE 2K22 is going to be on PlayStation 5 when they come back, and it's going to have general manager mode. It's going to have all the modes that we've been wanting, so that way they can rebound from this disaster of a year they've been through.
It's going to be on Xbox One too, or the new Xbox too.
Yeah. But still, I think that it's going to be phenomenal. I think people are going to fall in love with the WWE series again if they do everything that's been rumored that they're going to do for this one. But along with the WWE game, we've got to remember there's a certain other company that's releasing a video game about the same time.
We're not talking about wrestling games. We're talking about the games that were shown on the PS5 reveal. And what was shown on the PS5 reveal.
I mean, Ratchet and Clank 2, we're not looking forward to it. I'm just kidding. But,
I know which game. Taylor wants the game with the strawberries. Bugs, the little kids game. That's what Taylor wants.
I love kids games. I play Caillou every night.
So Taylor's going to be buying that one.
That's right.
So as a whole, with the reveal and how they revealed the PlayStation 4 and all the other games, what grade, we're talking about letters, would you give the PlayStation 5 reveal?
B-.
Okay. On my end, I liked the new game from Capcom with the space guy. I don't remember what it was called. It was really cool. I liked it. It seemed like it had a lot of potential. The new Rocket League type game.
Yeah.
I don't remember the names, but it was like Rocket League, and you could get out of your car and beat people up. It was smashing. I think that one's going to be a big hit. I might not play it. Probably won't play it unless it's free. I think that's going to be maybe even in the new Rocket League if they do it right. I think the new Little Big Planet spinoff game is going to be pretty big for the kids, and it's going to make them a lot of money. But to be honest, there was nothing there that I was just like, wow, except for Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, you liked NBA that reveal, didn't you?
You know, I don't. I bought the NBA games for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
This year was the exact same as last year.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to change. Though they always change stuff up when it's like new consoles. I've heard that from many.
Do you think the gambling will go away? Do you think microtransactions will go away?
Eventually.
If you're asking me, I don't play. I play the story mode, and I do not buy the VC points.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering, but I don't play my team, so that's probably why I get stale with it. I don't really like playing multiplayer sports games. But moving on, Spider-Man Miles Morales is what we're going to talk about right now. Insomniac Games. What?
Go ahead.
Insomniac Games have announced that. Oh, overall. Okay, no. Before we talk about that, you go first. Do you like the design of the PS4?
Yeah, I like the design of it. I think that it kind of reminds me of the old Xbox 360.
Kind of the shape.
Yeah. Kind of the design. It kind of reminds me of the 360.
I think it looks better than the Xbox. I think it's slimmer. I think it's more futuristic. I think that's what they aimed for. I think they aimed for future. That makes you want to buy it because you want to feel like you're in the future. I think that's the big sell. I do think I don't think that the Xbox controller is going to beat the DualSense.
Yeah.
I think it just has too much going for it. But moving on, seems like the biggest reveal of the PS5 reveal was the new Spider-Man game. It was pretty much the first. The next Spider-Man game from Insomniac Games will be Spider-Man Miles Morales, where you play as a character set up in the last one, Miles Morales. He's a younger kid. He's African American, so a lot of people are going to mark out for that. He's an established character in the comics. But Insomniac Games have said that this game will be half the length of the original one, and people are not happy. But I'm not surprised because they've only had about 2 years to make it. So what do you think about that? Do you think people should be mad? Or do you think that they should have waited and just made a whole game? Because I'm pretty almost positive that this was like a spin-off to kind of continue the story a little bit, and then they're just going to go back to the old Spider-Man. Because they left things hanging there at the end of the game. Taylor hasn't played the Spider-Man. He has, but he didn't we're close to finishing it. But yeah, so what do you think, Taylor?
Yeah.
What do you think about it being? Do you think that they should have waited and just done Spider-Man 2, or they needed this game because it seems like it's going to be a PS5 launch, but since people are so mad that it's just half the length, do you think they should have waited? It's okay that they did it and it's just half
It's
the
okay.
length, or should they?
It's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And plus, I mean, it was really popular when Miles Morales came out and played Spider-Man.
Yeah. In the movie.
So I think a lot of people are going to love that.
Yeah. It's just people thought that it was going to be a full-blown game. They didn't really specify it on the PlayStation 5 reveal. But I don't think that the original one was very long. I remember beating it in about a day and a half. The main story, anyway. So it's up to you. It better not. The only thing I'm saying, it better not come out at $60 if it's half the length. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So after we've done that, we're going to talk about Microsoft's Xbox Series X, because we're not leaving it out. As a whole, I don't see very many PS5 exclusives that I would want to buy. At all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about how Microsoft can, people are already saying PlayStation's already won. Everything. Microsoft hasn't come out with any games, really. Maybe one, two. They had a reveal, but the reveal was basically to show the Xbox, and that was it.
Yeah.
They haven't done it, and it's supposed to happen, I believe, in July. So how do you think, if you didn't know, I do remember this distinctly, Microsoft bought a whole bunch of indie game studios. I'm thinking they have a lot more than Sony now. You can fact check me on that. So what kind of games would you like to see launch titles? How do you think they could present it? Since we've already seen the console, they can't do the reveal at the last, and nobody's going to be anticipating that. We've already seen it. How do you think they can present the games, show the features of the Xbox, to put it over the PlayStation? Now, before you start, I saw a graphic. It had the PlayStation and Xbox side by side. It had their processors, what outputs they have, the sound quality, everything, how they run, and it had them side by side. The Xbox would lack in some places, but then it would make up for it in some places, and I counted them, and they were basically even on what they're giving up and what they're taking and what they're giving and taking. So you're going to lack in some areas on one, but you're going to have more over here, and then it'll be more over in the Xbox side, but less over in the PlayStation side. So it just depends on which certain ones you want. To me, they look pretty even in that kind of thing. So how do you think they can present the Xbox and its games, and what kind of games would you like to see that would put it over PlayStation in your mind? I'm hoping that the PlayStation comes out with more launch titles that I would actually be interested in, because I think there's only about 3 that they showed on the reveal that will actually be launch titles. All of the others were for 2021. So, what would you like to see Xbox do that will make you buy? Well, first off, after you saw that presentation, would you buy the PlayStation 5?
Yeah, I mean, I just like the PlayStation controls better. You know?
So you're just gonna buy it because you like the controls better.
Well, no, I think NBA 2K is gonna look really good.
Well, that's gonna be on Xbox too, buddy.
I know.
So what can Xbox do to make you want to buy Xbox? If you think you want to, if you want to buy the PlayStation 4 now, what can Xbox do to change your mind?
2 words: GTA 6.
It's not gonna happen. If GTA 6 was coming out, that PlayStation would have got the thing. So you got to pick something else. How can they present it differently?
I'd say change the controllers, but I have a feeling they already are going to do that. Not a lot I hate about the Xbox,
Because
but
it looks like a fridge.
yeah, it kind of does look like a bridge.
But if the speculation right now is Xbox is going to price slash PlayStation by $100. So
I can see that.
if it depends on price, would you buy the Xbox?
Yes, but usually I pay for quality, and it's whatever comes in.
I think they're
I
both
don't
pretty equal. I think they're both pretty equal. If Xbox has better exclusives, I'm going to get an Xbox. There's not very many games on the PlayStation 5 reveal that I wanted.
Yeah.
That's just that. But if it comes down to they're both equal,
Yeah.
I'm going to wait a little while and probably get the PlayStation because I like the way it looks better.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anything else we want to talk about?
I think that's good. We covered all the topics we discussed, or we wanted to discuss. We covered all of them.
I do want to talk about. Do you think it's dumb that the NFL signed with EA for the rest of their life and they're not going to give their video games to anybody else?
Yeah, that is pretty dumb.
I think that I don't think they can do. They might. I don't think they can do NCAA anymore. We'll see. But do you want NCAA? Do you want NCAA, Taylor?
Yeah, but it's gonna be at least 2022 before that.
Who do you want to make it?
I mean, EA was really good at making college games for a while, so I think EA, even with all the controversy surrounding them, would probably be the best to make a college game.
Now I can tell you this: there is going to be a wrestling game that was made by an indie developer, a pro wrestling game that's made by an indie developer that has like indie guys in it, and it's coming out on PlayStation 4. It's coming out on PC first, but it's coming out on PlayStation 4. It's kind of like an old, the old WrestleMania arcades.
Yeah.
It's like that, like those graphics. It's not Fire Pro Wrestling. It's between Fire Pro Wrestling and the other, like the regular WWE. It looks really good. So that's coming out on PlayStation 4, unless it gets canceled or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we got. If you want to go back and check out our A Way Out gameplay walkthrough, I don't think, did we put the ending up? We didn't. No.
Yeah, no.
We were playing the game, and then YouTube on the PlayStation messed up for about 3 weeks. And we would try to stream, and then we'd realize halfway through that it would say it was streaming, but it wasn't there. So, yeah, we thought we were recording the ending, but it wasn't there. So, it's still a lot of fun. If you want to have a laugh, if you want to see us play a game, there's first and second, maybe even third part up there. But right now, I forgot to say this during my Ghost of Tsushima part. On my channel, the CCB brand, it'll probably be in the description. You can see my Road to Ghost of Tsushima Infamous Second Son walkthrough. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I talk about Ghost of Tsushima. I talk about how Sucker Punch kind of makes their games, and he's just playing that game that I've never played before, and it's really fun. And when Ghost of Tsushima comes out, I'm sure there'll be videos on my channel. Don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing on my channel yet because it's such a big game, but live streams and stuff from Twitch will be on my channel. If you want to check out my Twitch, it's Heel Face CCB on Twitch, which is also linked on my YouTube channel. And my Twitter is the official CCB, which I will post on there when I'm going live and stuff like that. And I think if this all works out, there will be more podcasts of us doing this kind of stuff. And I think our wrestling ones, if we do more wrestling ones in the future, they'll be posted on this channel, Deathdrop. I think they're going on Deathdrop's channel. Gaming stuff, well, I'll put them on my channel too. So, yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe and like. If you're doing it on any other podcast thing, can you follow on there? Whatever you can do, just show us that you want more of this series, video games. If you like wrestling, you gotta follow it to show us that you want more wrestling. Our Instagram, there's a Deathdrop Video Instagram. There's a CCB brand Instagram. The official CCB is where that's at. And you can slide into our DMs even if you want and tell us that you enjoyed it and what you want us to talk about. So, thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you liked our opinions on these games. If you want to see more of us, you can go to our respected channels and me on Twitch. If you want to see me on Twitch, please follow my Twitter. I post on there before I get on. We're going to be playing games on there. And you want to see more of our fabulous voices and us having a great time. I also have an Uncharted walkthrough, which is really funny because I fail a lot on my channel right now. And yeah, so thanks for watching. This has been the Fall Damage Gaming Podcast, episode 1. We hope you liked it, and stay tuned for more to come from us. Thank you for watching.